My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Final Destination. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But let's just get into it, beginning with the cast. And Devon Sawa does a perfectly fine job. He carries this movie well enough. I just don't think his actual acting is all that good. Ali Lotto does a pretty decent job. She brought enough personality to her character. Keo Smith for me was the standout because his character is such an unlikable douche at the start, but by the end, you kind of do like him. Like he had the most to do, and he does a good enough job with it. Christian Cloak does a fine job, I guess. Sean William Scott is fine in this movie, but this came out 1 year after American Pie, so it's just kind of weird he didn't have a bigger role here. And it's so weird how he always shows up. But he's fine. And Tony Todd has such a great voice and he can sell you on the rate of things. Like, it's not a great performance, but he does stand out enough. So, the cast is fine. Nobody is great here. But, you know what is great? The entire premise of this movie. Like, the idea of these characters avoiding death, and then death comes back to haunt them all, is just such a great idea. And I do love how this movie does have weight when needed. Like, these characters avoided death, they're facing death, they're thinking about death, and the movie does capture that well enough. I also do like how this movie can be funny. There is one death scene in particular where Terry is crossing the street and she gets hit by a vehicle that has always made me laugh. But my favorite part about this movie is the death scenes. And not just because of how brutal or harsh they can be. I love the fact that this movie keeps you guessing. Like, how is this character going to die? Is he going to slip? Is he going to catch fire? Is he going to get stabbed? Is he going to get into an accident? You just never know. And just watching the death scenes unfold just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And I just love that. I really do. And there are plenty of great moments here, like Todd getting killed by the clothesline is actually a really brutal moment. Like, there's no blood, but it's tough to watch. The airplane scene I thought was great. Like, it just feels so real and so sudden. And if I get on an airplane, I do think of this movie sometimes. Um, I love the scene where the teacher puts boiling water in her cup, but then she dumps it and puts chilled vodka in it instead, and her cup starts to crack. And there's this path of vodka, and she puts the cup over her computer, and just the way things escalate from that point on is so unpredictable and so brutal and just so good. Um, the scene where the car part hits Sean William Scott and just cuts off his head. That's a great moment. And I love the chaos of the finale. Well, Cleo is trying to just avoid death, and things keep going from bad to worse to worse to worse, and it's a really great note to end this movie on. So it does deliver when it needs to, and people always talk about how Jaws made them scared of the ocean, and I love how this movie can make you scared of anything. Like, just anything has the capability to kill you. And it's just really effective on that level. But I do got a few issues. The movie does feel like 10 minutes too long. The police characters, I understand why they're here, but to me, they don't really add much to the experience. The movie can be a little dry. Maybe I wish there was a bit more energy, a bit more personality. And I love the rules established. These characters avoided death. Death is out to get them, but it turns out it's killing them in the order they were meant to die. Okay, good. Makes perfect sense. But then you can kind of skip it, and if you do, it might affect someone else. And I don't know. For me, the rules get really convoluted here, and the movie does kind of lose me at times. So I still think it's a solid start to this franchise. There are some great moments, and I just love the whole gimmick of the unpredictability of death. It's just a movie that could have been better in certain regards, so I'm giving Final Destination a 7 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Final Destination? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos soon, and Gavin out.